goods.
Kenya Railways prioritizes customer engagement and service excellence. For more information, contact marketing@krc.co.ke. Kenya Railways Corporation. Songanasi.
The Kenya National Qualifications Authority helps in coordinating and harmonizing education, training, assessment, and quality assurance of all qualifications awarded in the country, with a view to improving quality and international comparability. Kenya National Qualifications Authority, shaping the future of Kenya.
Kenya Broadcasting Corporation is Kenya's most trusted news and entertainment brand. Grow your business, acquire more clients, and reach new, diverse audiences by advertising with us. We connect brands to audiences that matter, driving results for brands and enhancing your current marketing strategies. We have packages for all needs, and no product is too small for us. Contact us today and capitalize on our combined power of radio, TV, and digital platforms. KBC, connecting Kenyans.
Operation went very well, and your son will be fine in no time.
Oh, thank Going to the hospital.
I forbid you to go.
Why not? Tell me why not?
You have no business being there. Do you expect me to welcome her here with open arms when she is the daughter of the woman who is trying to steal my husband?
There's no point in talking to you anymore. We're here to ask you a few questions.
Questions about what?
It has to do with Miss Cervantes.
Let go!
Get out! Get out! Don't even think of coming back here.
You're not leaving here until you tell me what you were doing in Marcelo's room and why, for Pete's sake, was his mother so upset with you?
She went crazy because she saw me kissing her son. There, happy?
Nilikongwa na kali ya nini Kwema Sako.
Alikuwa anataka saa kuwa kama lawyer wako.
Exactly. Now you are coming.
Kwanza pokea rambirambi zangu.
Amekufa kwani?
Unajua hata bila natembea huyu haisi kaa zaidi ya mwaka.
Wewe.
Good play. Yes. He told me that he has a play. So nilikuwa nakuja kuona ndugu yangu akifanya play.
Hiyo ni upora ambayo mmezoea.
Tumezoea sana hii tunafanyanga.
Mimi nauliza who is who?
Wewe una deal na nani?
Mimi hata sijui.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
Tell us where you're celebrating your Easter holiday on our social media platforms at Abdiaziz Hashim 1 as well as at KBC Channel 1. Of course, Ramadan Mubarak to all our Muslim brothers and sisters out there as they enter their final stretch of the holy month of Ramadan that is set to conclude on the 10th of next month. Good afternoon and welcome to our broadcast at this lovely afternoon on KBC's Lunchtime News. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. My co-anchor for this afternoon will be none other than Brian Muraru. Stick around for the next 30 minutes or so to get the latest here in the country and beyond our borders. And with the Easter holiday festivities, let's start with the Commander-in-Chief himself, where the President William Ruto urged Kenyans to join the Christian faithfuls on enduring and universal lessons from the life and times of Jesus Christ during this Easter holiday. The President, in his Easter message of goodwill and hope, urged Kenyans to join Christian faithfuls in reflecting on lessons from one of the religion's significant historical events. The head of state also called on Kenyans to follow the example set by Jesus Christ in divine model of faith displayed through his suffering and the ultimate death, and serve the humanity. Acknowledging the existing challenges in the world today, Ruto noted that the Easter period serves as a reminder that any adversity can be overcome through discipline and sound values. Elsewhere, a section of civil society organizations in Kisumu is calling on elected leaders as well as civil servants to exercise utmost integrity while serving Kenyans. Led by Grassroots Trust Coordinator Lawrence Apio, the human rights activist held a procession within Kisumu Central Business District in marking Good Friday to protest the suffering of Kenyans, even as they implored upon the national government as well as the Kisumu County administration to address land-grabbing cases in the Lakeside County. The group wants the government to address the ongoing doctor strike, high cost of living and questionable fertilizers in circulation.
The state officials who lack integrity that we are preaching today, integrity, 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 that honesty, that simplicity and modesty in our leaders is lacking, that they have failed to address the issues of doctors. Doctors are genuinely expressing what needs to be put in place to change the health sector. We want to heap praises to our courts that have stood firm in delivering justice, in mitigating conflicts that we are taking to court, and we trust that the affordable housing cases are going to be judged fairly.
And in other news, Kenya Women Teachers Association, that is KEWATA, has urged members to join the association, saying the union is not in competition with other teachers' unions. The national chairperson, Modesta Akaki, has lauded a partnership with Family Bank and Kentnizer to provide water reserves for both working and retired teachers. Akaki noted the big uptake of the program since its launch 2 months ago, saying it will support other ventures for teachers, especially at the grassroots level.
But KEWATA picks them up and makes sure that they get a dignified retirement by paying for them an NHIF comprehensive cover, so that as Mwalimu looks for his or her benefits, he or she gets treatment without a problem.
Have no relationship or fight with NAT and KEWATA, except that we both represent teachers. As simple as that. But you know, if you have been having this position of being the owner, that NAT and KUPPET were the only unions there, when they felt the new child on the block come about, they got scared. But as I talk today, we have a very good working relationship with our unions, because KEWATA will not go and represent you in a problem that needs a trade union to address. Just like NAT will not come and stand in for a welfare problem with KEWATA. So let's differentiate the two. One is a union, one is an association.
And in other news, a drama was witnessed at Athi River after two groups of developers engaged in a heated altercation over a piece of land in the presence of police officers. Now, the two groups, Mombasa Cement and Zakaria Braza Siuma Auctioneers, both claim to have court orders to stop any development in the 7.74 acres piece of land. The land has been a parking bay for Mombasa Cement Company. Tension still remains high in the area.
Shamba ambayo tunaongelelea hapo Mavoko Athi River, Mombasa Cement ilinunua mwaka wa 2006. Kutoka baada ya hiyo muda walipelekwa kotini na watu watatu, Arish Ramji, Bharat Ramji na Ashwin Ramji kwa High Court. Kwa hiyo koti Mombasa Cement ikapewa judgment ya kwamba shamba ni ya Mombasa Cement.
Tumekuwa na hiyo kuvutana kidogo, lakini baadaye ndio tumekuja leo asubuhi. Jana. So tumekuja ku take over. Haina mambo ingine. Ile order hawa wanasema, nimesikia wakisema wako na court order. Hiyo ni court order ya lower court. Na ile order ilitumika kurudisha Bharat hapa ilikuwa ni ile order ya court of appeal. So there's no way lower court inaweza simamisha court of appeal.
Let's come back here to the capital, where Christian faithfuls across the country joined the world in Easter celebration on Friday with calls for the government to tackle challenges facing Kenyans, among them the high taxation burden. In Nairobi, Catholic faithful at the Holy Family Basilica, led by the members of the clergy, held a peaceful procession to mark the Passion of Christ, a commemoration of Jesus' crucifixion. Now, speaking during the procession, Nairobi Catholic Archbishop Philip Anyolo implored the government to urgently find consensus striking doctors. And now, similar message was relayed by the leadership of the Anglican Church in Kenya during Good Friday celebrations at All Saints Cathedral in the capital.
We have heard recently that wrong fertilizer was supplied. It did not happen. That's a big failure, and that's a criminal offense. We request that the government and all leaders in these areas should always enter into dialogue and discuss, so that we don't end up with strikes. We don't end up with people dying because there are things that we have not discussed together. Discuss together.
Now, still with the Easter festivities, the spouse of Deputy President Pastor Dorcas Rigathi has called on the privileged to help the less fortunate in the society during the Easter celebration. Pastor Rigathi said Easter holidays is also a time to visit the widows, orphans and those living with disabilities to ensure they also have a chance to celebrate the festivities.
In a celebration, you must remember those who may be feeling rejected. Jesus was rejected. Go to the widows, go to the orphans, go to the people living with disabilities. Just give them a time where they can be able to celebrate. Give them some food, just take them some clothing. Just go and spend time with your parents. Because you see, at the end of the day, when Jesus was on the cross, the next thing you hear, he's talking to John and he's telling, this is my mother, just take her and take care of her. Therefore, Easter is a celebration of parenthood.
Wise words from the spouse of Deputy Rigathi Gachagua, and of course those are the message, and of course celebrate it responsibly. Now, a section of leaders in Narok and Bomet counties are advocating for a compulsory cancer screening in a bid to reduce the disease burden in the country. Led by Bomet Governor Professor Hilary Barchok, the leaders are seeking men who are above 45 years of age to embrace early testing, as they are at a major risk. Barchok was speaking at the burial of retired Chief Joseph Korir of Lometok, who died of cancer.
Na kama nisema asante sana. Wote anajaza nyuguleje. Ni kwani
tufanyiwe screening ya kansa ya tumbo. Sio lazima uwe mgonjwa uende hospitali. Tuende tuonane na daktari mapema, itazuia hiyo kansa.
Kuna chanjo ya wasichana dhidi ya ugonjwa ya kansa mwaka 10 kuanzia 10, 14 na kuteremka chini. Ukisikia hiyo chanjo, peleka mtoto wako achanjwe, kwa sababu zaidi sisi wa mama ndio tuko vulnerable zaidi.
Now to a rather tragic turn of events where one person has been shot dead and a senior GSU officer sustained gunshot wounds in Embosos, Arabai in Baringo South after suspected bandits raided the area after a relative peace. A GSU commander was attacked as he responded to the attack. Now tension is high in the area of Arabai, Kaisiela and Cheramugot areas that had started to return back to normalcy. And of course many people were expected to return to their homes. Now exchange of gunfire between NPR and bandits are part of Thursday's afternoon. Local leaders led by Baringo Governor Benjamin Cheboy condemned the attack.
We have come here to not only condemn, but to say that we are going to take measures to hold meetings with the local community, both in Saimosoy and Tiati. Patience we have is that in spite of the fact that it is assumed that there are few wakoras or few criminals, it has been difficult for the security forces to stop this activity.
Let's head over to the coastal region where the national government and the county government of Kilifi have brokered a truce that will see residents benefit from minerals in the county after a Chinese investor was given a 3-year license for a multi-billion prospect for the minerals in the area after years of intervention. And now Kilifi residents had previously opposed the move over the years of displacement without compensation.
What began as a tense meeting as residents expressed fear of displacement to pave way for mineral exploration ended in a truce as Kilifi Governor Gideon Mungaro assured residents of Ganze and Kilifi at large that they will benefit from 950 million shillings mineral royalties and further explorations in the region.
We are carrying out further reforms in the ministry that will allow mining to contribute immensely to the economic development of our country.
The residents who were earlier opposed to the Chinese company prospecting for minerals over fears of displacement with minimal compensation reneged on their stand after Cabinet Secretary for Mining Salim Mvurya and Governor Gideon Mungaro clarified that the investor had been given a prospective license and not a mining license by the state.
Ganze is blessed with a lot of minerals. But it has been the cause of a lot of problems because we have had so many unscrupulous people who come and exploit, but there has been no benefit. So I'm glad that with the reforms that are currently happening in the Ministry of Mining, we hope everything that is supposed to come for the benefit of the local Wananchi is going to happen.
The CS assured residents that the government had only licensed one prospecting investor in Kilifi and revoked all others issued in 2019. Residents were also assured that the proceeds from the projects will fund life-changing projects in areas where minerals are located.
I want to assure the people of Kilifi and the people of this area that the ministry and the national government in particular will not allow investors that are not going to respect the rights of the people. And therefore, as we go along this process, we want to make sure that there's participation of everybody, but also benefits accruing, from this particular process.
So with proper policing, KRA, ourselves all working as a team, we should be able to collect every shilling from mines.
For Lunchtime News, I'm Gladys Mungai.
Elsewhere, Pope representative to Kenya and Southern Sudan Apostolic, that is Nuncio Dr. Hebertus Matthews Maria Van Megen, has asked faithfuls in Embu County to be patient over the naming of Bishop Catholic Diocese in Embu County. Now speaking at St. Peter and Paul Cathedral, Carolina in Apostolic Nuncio also assured Catholic faithfuls that a substantive bishop of Embu County Catholic Diocese will be named soon. They encouraged priests to ensure they have good legacies and inspire others to live up to Christ.
Right from the start, I'm not here to announce a new bishop. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So none of the priests need to be nervous today. But we are here today to, well, first of all, listen to the word of God, how God inspires us by his words of encouragement and of consolation, and to understand once again that if the Lord doesn't build the house, the builders build in vain.
Well, it is exactly 16 minutes past the hour. Remember what I urged you to tell us when we started this broadcast is to tell us where you're celebrating your Easter holidays this lovely afternoon. Talk to us on our social media platforms at Abdiaziz Hashim 1 as well as at KBC Channel 1. Don't go too far, we still have more news for you.
Kenya Broadcasting Corporation is Kenya's most trusted news and entertainment brand. Grow your business, acquire more clients, and reach new, diverse audiences by advertising with us. We connect brands to audiences that matter, driving results for brands and enhancing your current marketing strategies. We have packages for all needs, and no product is too small for us. Contact us today and capitalize on our combined power of radio, TV, and digital platforms. KBC, connecting Kenyans.
The true story of a man named Jesus who lived 2,000 years ago.
Who do you say I am? You are God's Messiah.
Are you the king of the Jews?
This man? A king?
The seed is the word of God. The seeds that fell along the path stand for those who hear. But the devil comes and takes the message away from their hearts in order to keep them from believing and being saved.
I commit my spirit.
If Jesus is king, why are they doing this to him? I don't know.
What does Easter mean to them, and what do they understand from Easter?
Time to remember Christ and more to reconnect with family.
Christ died, he was buried, and he raised from the dead.
They celebrated to commemorate the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
It is a day that in strengthened faith yangu.
It's also a time to remember that Christ conquered death and he was victorious.
Only a God could have overcome the power of death.
We want to wish you a blessed Easter holiday, remembering that this is not just the celebration of the death, but above all the resurrection of our Lord and Savior.
Nilikongwa na kali ya nini Kwema Sako.
Alikuwa anataka saa kuwa kama lawyer wako.
Exactly. Now you are coming.
Kwanza okera mbirambi zangu.
Amekufa kwani?
Unajua hata bila natembea huyu haishi kazi zaidi ya mwaka.
Wewe. Good play. Yes. He told me that he has a play. So nilikuwa nakuja kuona ndugu yangu akifanya play.
Wewe hiyo ni ukora ambayo mmezoea.
Tumezoea sana hii tunafanyanga. Mimi nauliza who is who?
Wewe una deal na nani?
Mimi hata sijui.
Kenya Railways offers safe, reliable and affordable freight transportation, ensuring the security and ease of your cargo movement. It utilizes both the standard gauge railway and the improved meter gauge railway to deliver goods from Mombasa Port to countries of the Great Lakes region. Excellent Service Freighters Limited is a Part 20 Cube Logistics that extends international freight forwarding in Kenya and across the world.
Has excellent services. We are a group company of 20 Cube, which is a Singapore registered company, having a presence in more than 10 countries. As excellent, we are involved in multiple activities. We are involved with custom clearance, freight forwarding, and transportation. See, the benefit of using Kenya Railways, right, is once a vessel gets discharged, your containers can directly get loaded on the wagons and it can go to Naivasha, right? By the time it goes up to reaches Naivasha, the clearing agent or the client can have ample amount of time to pay to the shipping line charges, the port charges. So thereby you save on the idle time of container being idle at Mombasa Port. Now when it reaches Malabar, that's when the transporters take over and they do the last mile. By using railway as compared to road transport, we are able to save at least 40% on carbon emission, which is a big impact to the environment.
Kenya Railways prioritizes customer engagement and service excellence. For more information, contact marketing@krc.co.ke. Kenya Railways Corporation. Songa Nasi.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, the Kikuyu Council of Elders, the Governing Council, have lauded Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua for apologizing to the family of the First Lady Mama Ngina Kenyatta. The elders, led by the National Chairman Wachira Kiago, and a statement read by the Governing Council Secretary General, that is James Nene, said they are happy with the decision taken by the country's second-in-command, calling on other leaders in the region to follow suit. The council has further called for peace and sobriety among us Kenyans as they celebrate Easter.
From Deputy President Gachagua, there are other leaders from Mount Kenya who took part in this unfortunate affront, and we advise they follow the example set by the Deputy President. Kikuyu Council of Elders will soon lead the community in seeking forgiveness from God.
Jukumu letu kubwa liwe kuwaendea vijana na wasichana wetu ambao wamelewa na pombe baya, pombe ya kuharibu maisha yao.
Residents of Embu County have been urged to support the government care reform policy established in 2022. Now, this policy adopts a departure from the institutionalization of children and instead ensuring they grow within the embrace of the family and community. Speaking with a journalist in Embu County, Grace Mwangi emphasized the holistic nature of the initiative, built upon 3 pillars of prevention of separation and family strengthening, alternative family care, and the integration and transitioning of children already separated from their families.
There is need to talk about transitioning. So this whole change, it is transitioning from institutional model care to family and community-based care.
Tusiwachukue kama ni mzigo sisi kama wazazi kwenye boma. Hiyo mtoto akija kwanza ametoka kwa boma akaenda kwenye children's home. Akirudi nyumbani bado ni mtoto wako. Usimchukue kama ni burden. tuseme ni majukumu Mungu alitupa na tutayafanya kama jamii.
About 80% of our cases that are reported in our offices are about neglect, whether they are in the upper zone or the lower zone.
Now let's play. Now, teenage dart sensation Luke Littler continued his meteoric rise after winning his first Premier League darts night with a 6-4 win over Nathan Aspinall in Belfast. Last night's win puts the 17-year-old in the second place in the 8-man leg standing, with a top 4 progressing to the playoffs on the 23rd of May.
And it's the green light for glory in Northern Ireland for Luke Littler.
Luke Littler's show-stopping 125 checkout sealed a historic win on night 9 of the Premier League Darts Championship in Belfast. This was the Brits' first Premier League night win after coming up short in the final against Michael van Gerwen in Week 2. Nathan Aspinall won 3 consecutive legs, giving him a 3-1 lead over Littler at first. However, after taking down world number 1 Luke Humphries and 3-time world champion Michael van Gerwen, the 17-year-old was unfazed and commenced an epic comeback to go 6-4 up, claiming 4 legs in a row in the process.
Gone the Rob Cross route before in this Premier League on the 18s, but he now sticks at the conventional route to leave his beloved double 10.
The youngster rose to prominence when he came runners-up to Luke Humphries in his debut at the World Darts Championship earlier this year. His Premier League campaign so far has been up and down though, with 2 quarter-final losses in the first 8 weeks, but the win puts him back on track to reach the playoffs as he now sits second in the standings.
Double 5. And it's the green light for glory in Northern Ireland for Luke Littler.
For Lunchtime News, I'm Emmanuel Ndungu.
In the Premier League.
Deontay Murray scored in the final second of the overtime to lead the Atlanta Hawks to a 123-122 win over the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference. Elsewhere, the New Orleans Pelicans picked up a 107-100 win over the Milwaukee Bucks at the Smoothie King Center.
Defeated Portland.
Murray scored a career-high 44 points, including all 11 for the Hawks in the overtime at State Farm Arena at Atlanta, Georgia.
Jalen had 24 here Monday. And another turnover. This is going to be a very...
The Hawks also beat the Celtics on Monday, coming from 30 points down to win 121-18.
He'll turn and hook it home over Porzingis in the...
The Celtics are top of the Eastern Conference, with the Hawks in 10th. Boston were on a 9-game winning streak prior to the back-to-back defeats against Atlanta, but they are guaranteed to be the upcoming season-ending playoffs as the top seeds in the East.
And the Hawks go in front, 123 to 122. I can't believe it.
Elsewhere, the New Orleans Pelicans picked up a 107-100 win over Milwaukee Bucks at Smoothie King Center.
A little different. Z's got it. Flips it home.
Zion Williamson scored 28 points, with CJ McCollum adding 25 to get the host over the line, as Giannis Antetokounmpo top scored with 35 points for the Bucks.
Now let's head over to Vasha, where Saman Voha is the first Kenyan rally driver to exit the WRC Safari Rally after yesterday's incident where he damaged his Skoda Fabia roll cage at the Super Special stage in Kasarani. That leaves 5 Kenyan drivers in the RC2 category. Meanwhile, 9 Kenya rally drivers entered in the Kenya National Rally Championship division of the WRC Safari Rally will tackle today's stages late this afternoon.
The Kenya National Rally Championship division will be run in the afternoons as it happened in 2023. The first car driver by Isa Mwari, navigated by Nbuga Musa, will do the Lodia run at 3:55 p.m., Siodhamo at 5:13 p.m. and Kedong at 6:06 p.m.
We have immense experience now. Actually, we are running the first on Kenya National, so we have a little bit of advantage because we won't get into dark.
It's a navigator's rally. It's very tricky, very tight. Crocodile catches in very many places. Any slight mistake, any lead reading, it's a disaster to the crew.
So we did it already in Recce on the first day of Recce Monday. It had rained all Sunday night. So we were pretty late into the Sleeping Warrior stage, and actually for the last hour drove in the dark, and I drove better, I thought, than I did in the daylight.
After Reiki, some stages are quite tough and they're very car breaker. So our plan is to finish, yeah. And we have agreed with my navigator that we must finish. We try finish, but if there's a podium, yeah, we're happy. But we just want to maintain the car and keep it all in one piece.
The WRC Safari Rally is the second round of the Kenya National Rally Championship after the season opening Eldoret Rally, which was by Samansi Vora, navigated by Afir Khan. Vora rolled yesterday at the special stage and was forced to retire.
And that story from Naivasha does not end there. We have a strong, able sports team out there in Naivasha, Nakuru County, to cover the WRC 2024, and of course living in the embodiment that KBC is truly your sports partner. That marks the end of our bulletin this lovely afternoon. My name is Abdiaziz Hashim. My co-anchor is Brian Muraru. Do join us in our subsequent bulletins for more. But for now, enjoy your viewing.
Chap who was putting the fuel in got a little bit excited and dropped a little bit of fuel onto a hot brake disc, which went up in flames, which wouldn't have been too bad, but then he dropped the entire can. It all ran underneath the car, and I couldn't get out my side because of this wall of flame, and got my seatbelts off, and the next thing I knew, Bjorn dived back in, got me under the arms and pulled me out. I mean, his expression afterwards was that I come out like a champagne cork out of a bottle. Pretty terrifying moment.
This is the true story of a man named Jesus, who lived 2,000 years ago. We don't know exactly how children found out the truth about Jesus, but it might have happened something like this.